Where's the Hello and welcome to week one of the Gem City Gridiron Roundup podcast. I am your host, Dalton Van Pelt Scotch on the sidelines, brought to you by Denver International Airport, where standing by I have sideline reporter Zachary Stewart.
Hey, Dalton. Yep, I'm in DIA on my way back from my Vegas trip. Was able to get on an earlier flight and have a little layover so I could do this today. So if you guys are going to watch the YouTube, it's definitely going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. Never know.
Excuse my mess. There's some crafting things going on at my house. Wow, that was very unprofessional, coughing into the microphone. Yes. Okay. Well, it's been an entire
almost
December. Yeah, December is the last time we did one of these. Okay. Wow.
What a weekend.
We're a bit rusty. Sorry for the low energy at the last episode we recorded, Zach. I don't even know if you posted that or not.
I did not. I'll post both at the same time.
Yeah. The last one was very low energy. Hopefully this one is a little bit better. I listened back to myself and realized, holy hell, I really enjoyed doing this. I really need to find that enjoyment again.
Yeah, I enjoy this. For those that don't know, if it comes out later, we're going to be doing these on Monday nights for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
So we may be
it'll
watching
come out on Monday night.
Yeah, so we may be watching
on
the
Apple
Monday
Podcast.
Game. Yeah. So we're probably going to just we could be watching the Monday night game depending on what time we start this. But that'll throw a little wrinkle into it as well. We did that with baseball, watched some baseball while we were podcasting.
It adds an extra element, which is fun.
Yeah, things can change pretty quickly.
Derek Carr is warming up right now. They're showing Henry Ruggs III in a brand new, what is that stadium called there in Las Vegas?
Allegiant Stadium.
Allegiant.
At the Allegiant Airlines Stadium.
There we go. I've lost 5 days in a row on my 3-team parlays on baseball, so things are going great.
I hit 2 parlays in Vegas, so
nice.
Very happy. Walked away with $450 on the last night there. Happy that worked out. Hit a 3-team 2 4-team parlays.
Damn, $450 walking out the door pays for the whole trip, just about, huh?
Yeah, almost hit the. My 4-teamer was I took the points for Pittsburgh, and I took the under for the game, and then I had.
Oh, and you parlayed that?
Yeah, parlayed that.
Jesus.
Also with I took I laid the points for Seattle, and then I took the over at halftime for Chiefs and Browns, $25 to $325 on that bet.
Damn.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
and then I had one more for $10 and cashed another $135 on that.
That's excellent. I was lucky enough to hit. I had 5 upset bets in this weekend that were free bets by DraftKings, and I hit on 3 of them.
Yeah,
2 of them. Because I hit on Miami, and then I had $50 on the Cardinals money line, and I hit on that.
I did, all spread and under overs. I didn't do any money line.
Yeah, for those of you in this league, gambling is now legal. We do it on DraftKings. Zach, do you have multiple apps or just DraftKings?
I just have DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah.
Right now.
There are I think there's 3 of them now, because Caesars and MGM are also in Wyoming too.
Yeah, Caesars. BetMGM and then Caesars. I think Caesars and BetMGM are the same.
No,
they're not.
No, 2 different casinos.
Yeah, but there's so many casinos that are under one roof, though.
Well, the app is different.
Oh, the app is different than that.
Yeah, the app is different. So that would mean that there's separate companies, because Wyoming, I don't know. I read the whole gaming commission thing, and there was like specific rules, and so they're definitely different companies. But
yeah. So if anyone wants to get on some betting, DraftKings Sportsbook,
that's right.
BetMGM.
You can also do like follow your friends or something like that, where you like follow what they have going on. Kind of got an ultimate setup going on in my house right now. I got my computer with my mic. I have my drink over here. I've got one of the 3 baseball games I'm betting on right here, and then the Monday Night Football games on over there.
Yeah, I got the Monday night game on a corner over here, so we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, you guys know what this is. Here is your dummy-proof recap. If you didn't watch any football, to be honest, I didn't watch a ton, but we're still going to give you everything you need to know. First game, Thursday. There you go. Thursday night, an instant classic. Put it on the board.
Great game.
An instant classic. If not for the terribly conservative play of Mike McCarthy, we might have looked at a Dallas Cowboys victory.
Yeah, they played one hell of a game. They turned over the Bucs 4 times. Dak was throwing it all over the yard. Everybody looked good except Zeke, but Zeke looked great as a blocker. He was killing it.
He looked like a monster as a blocker. He's fullback sized now, apparently.
He did what the team asked of him in that game, and that was chip block and pick up the blockers, and he was throwing out punishment.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
Big highlights of the game is Dak passed 58 times, 42 completions, 403 yards, 3 touchdowns. He really did not look like he had his legs.
No, I think he's still getting his sea legs back, but he's throwing the hell out of it. I mean, he's still staying in the pocket. He's not scrambling too much, but first game back, see what happens. But he was on point with Amari and CD
so. and even Dalton Schultz.
Yep. Schultz was good.
I think I honestly probably should have put a preseason bet. I mean, we didn't really have that great of a preseason show, but I honestly should have put a Dalton Schultz versus Blake Jarwin because, I mean, I knew it going in. There was no way Blake Jarwin was getting that job back because Schultz did look really good down the stretch last year.
Yeah, so we were at the Thursday night watch party in Vegas, and there's probably, 300-400 people in this gigantic ballroom. They had on like a 100-inch projector, and it was a wild game. And as soon as Antonio Brown scored on that deep play, the entire place just erupted.
Boom.
Oh my God, everyone was so jazzed on that play. I mean, obviously people have money on the game and stuff, but the place went after that play. The whole ballroom was lively and drinking, and it was on after that play. AB looked great.
Speaking of which, let's talk about Antonio Brown. Do you think it was a fluke, or do you think that's a normal part of the Bucs offense?
I think it's going to be a normal part. And it's just going to be probably 2 of the 3 receivers every week. One's going to get shut out each week, whether it's Mike Evans, Godwin, or AB. The one thing that I did notice, Evans and Godwin definitely are the guys that are going to play probably, 90% of the snaps. AB did come off when they went 2 tight ends because he's more playing the outside. Chris Godwin's playing the slot, but then when they go to the 12 personnel, Godwin moves to the outside and AB comes out. I mean, that could fluctuate, but that's what it looked like for the most part. But Godwin was amazing too.
There's
minus the fumble.
There was an OJ Howard sighting.
Yeah.
He didn't have any targets, but I saw him on the field, I swear.
Oh, and we saw a lot of Gronk. Gronk looked
we did see
too.
a lot of Gronk. Gronk went the fuck off, which is hilarious because the Cowboys have 3 of the fastest interior linemen or linebackers in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Gronk said, I don't care.
Yeah. They again, they all look good. Mike Evans is the only one that didn't get much work. But again, I think that's going to fluctuate by game. 2 of the 3 are going to go off, or maybe they had 3 possession players go off. It just was 2 wide receivers and a tight end. So it still could be 3 wide receivers.
So do you think you just kind of have to look at what team they're playing the next week and see which corners they're going to target? Do you think that's what it's going to be like?
Yeah, I just think they're going to throw the ball. I don't think they trust the running backs enough to run the ball. I mean, Tom Brady wants to throw the ball. Brady wants to set records this year. I think they're just going to throw it a whole bunch.
Speaking of which, they only had 14 rush attempts.
Yeah.
And one was a jet sweep with Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Leonard Fournette dropped the ball, which led to a pick. That was Fournette. And then Ronald Jones fumbled. He got benched. I was surprised they didn't bench Fournette after the tipped ball interception, but he came back out. Gio was pretty obsolete. I think they're just
3 targets, 2 catches, 12 yards.
Yeah, I think they're just going to want to throw it. With the position players they have, why not?
Dallas's defense looked so much improved from what we saw last year.
Yeah, truly.
That's pretty exciting. Amari Cooper, 16 targets. CeeDee Lamb, 15 targets. Holy shit.
I mean, that's what happens when you throw it 60 times, though. Those numbers are going to be double-digit targets.
Michael Gallup, it actually shocks me. He only had 4 catches for 36 yards, but he did get hurt in this game.
Yeah, he did just get placed on IR. He's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks. So see how that goes.
Yikes. Cedric Wilson, definitely a waiver wire target.
Yeah. I think more Dalton Schultz more than anything. Schultz, Jarwin.
Oh, yeah.
I think those guys are going to step up. Overall, great game, though. I mean, one of the best Thursday night games. That's one of the best opening night games I've seen. The past couple of years, they've been just kind of duds.
I don't think you can count it as a Thursday night game. It's more of a Sunday night game a week early.
Yeah, I meant like the opening kickoff game.
Right.
There's been some duds the past couple of years, and it was nice to get a super exciting game for that.
All right, moving on. Philadelphia, Hotlanta. What do you got on this?
I was actually surprised. Like the Falcons moved the ball quite a bit in the first half and then just kind of petered out. Couldn't score, had a couple 15-plus yard drives, but had to kick field goals. I mean, Kyle Pitts had about 8 or 9 targets. Ridley had about 7 or 8 targets, but not many catches. The targets were good, but Matt Ryan was not looking very good.
Ridley still salvaged his day, 5 catches, 51 yards.
Yeah, no touchdowns. Pitts was, I think, 3 for 50, something like that.
4 for 31.
4 for 31.
Yep.
So, figure it out.
I mean, I didn't see these. I didn't actually have a chance to watch these highlights, but based off the stats, it looks like Philadelphia must have been up early.
Yeah, they were up early. They were Jalen Hurts was slinging the rock. 3 touchdowns, 1 to Devonta Smith, 1 to Goddard. I think he had about 60 rushing yards. He was
62 rushing yards.
He was picking apart that Atlanta defense. So they look good. Devonta Smith looked good first game. Jalen Hurts looked good too. So,
Kenneth Gainwell, a deep pickup thought.
Yep.
You know,
Miles Sanders looked good.
He did look good. He's what you're looking for. Kenneth Gainwell is the clear-cut cuff to him. If Miles Sanders gets injured, Kenneth Gainwell is going to be very good in fantasy.
Not much else from that game.
Not much else to say. 32-6. That's bad. Pittsburgh, Buffalo. As this is your team, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so like I said, I mentioned earlier that I bet on the Steelers and the under in that game. I thought the game was going to be low scoring. I thought both defenses were good. The Bills did jump out early, 10-0. But Pittsburgh just kept kind of chunking yards away. They had a defensive touchdown. Najee didn't look great. He played all the snaps, but got stuffed quite a bit. Deontay Johnson looked good. Claypool looked all right. They just kind of manhandled Buffalo defensively. Josh Allen, they threw it like 40 plus times, and they played like 6 DBs the entire game. They didn't let Josh Allen pick them apart defensively, throwing the ball. And so that's kind of where it looked. They didn't really run the ball much. So they just kind of overpowered them defensively.
Yeah, 16 for 45 for Najee, 3 targets, 1 catch, 4 yards. Does he give you kind of Nick Chubb vibes? Like he's not really going to have much in the receiving threat, or was this just a weird game?
I know it's just a weird game. They had good defense. I mean, it's his first game. He played every single snap of the game. It looked like no one competed with touches. I think Najee's going to get all the work. It's a bummer first game, but I don't see that sticking around too much. After, if that happens again, 2 or 3 more times, then you might worry a little bit. But,
yep.
They still gave him 17 touches, almost 20 touches with the targets. So just got to live with it sometimes.
Devin Singletary actually looked all right without Zach Moss. Zach Moss was a healthy scratch.
Yeah, that was super
weird.
Yeah, we're sitting there in the Vegas room getting ready to go watch the games, and all the inactives comes out, and we're like, what the hell is going on? Especially we'll talk about the Niners in a little bit, but we were like, what the heck? Is Zach Moss healthy scratch? Yeah, it was wild. Singletary did look good on the attempts he did get.
11 for 72.
A lot of those was in the fourth quarter when they actually started to run the ball.
Oh, once they started gashing him and.
Yeah, well, Pittsburgh was playing. They were playing nickel all game. They were playing six DBs the entire game.
Was that a touchdown for Gabe Davis?
There was a touchdown for Gabe Davis. He looked pretty good. Diggs looked all right. I mean, they were shadowing him quite a bit.
Yeah, double coverage probably.
Yeah, I mean, he still had a good game. They didn't get beat deep at all, and that's how explosive the Bills' offense is. They just didn't let them get beat deep.
All right, moving on. We got the Jets Panthers. Panthers win this one. It was a tight game. Looks like they won it by halftime.
Yeah,
they scored 16 points in the second quarter. Sam Darnold, he looked all right. He looked better than normal Sam Darnold, probably.
Yeah, that wasn't one that was fun to watch.
No, but McCaffrey does what McCaffrey does.
Which
0
is
touchdowns on the day, and yet he still is the number 1 running back in all the land.
That's the scary thing with him, because there's going to be some 40-point weeks out there for McCaffrey. He just catches the ball so much and he's just so efficient. Shockingly, Robbie Anderson only had 1 target, but it did go for a touchdown. DJ Moore looked good. Corey Davis was the biggest thing for Jets. He had a big week. Obviously the number 1 target in New York.
Yeah, Corey Davis is the clear-cut number 1 in New York, and DJ Moore is the clear-cut number 1 in Carolina. It's clear that Sam Darnold much prefers him over Robbie Anderson, and Robbie Anderson is looking like he's just going to be Curtis Samuel this year.
Yeah, big play guy.
Which sucks because, Robbie was so good last year. I think that was built into his ADP, though.
Yeah, he played with Sam Darnold. That's how they used him in New York with Darnold. I'm sure there's going to be games for him. He's going to get good target share, but it's going to be highly unpredictable. But
3-headed monster at running back for the Jets, and that's all you needed to know.
Yeah, wasn't a great game for Zach Wilson. I know it's his first game, but
it wasn't terrible though for a rookie.
No, not terrible.
No, yeah, he wasn't bad. 82.9 quarterback rating, could be a lot worse. 20 of 37, 258, 2 touchdowns, 0 rushing attempts, but I don't think they're going to really use him in that role because they don't want to kill him.
He'll get eased into it. I expect him to get a little bit better.
My $1 Vegas bet AFC North division champions beat the NFC North Vikings, and Joseph Burrow had a pretty good game. The completion percentage is what it looks like is the only reason why his passer rating was so much better than Zach Wilson's, and the eye test, I think, was the difference in this game.
Yeah, the position players were really good in that game. Joe Mixon and Dalvin Cook were tremendous. T. Higgins, he did leave the field for a little bit. Sounded like dehydration, cramping. Jamar Chase, he looked
Jamar
good.
Chase can't catch.
He can't catch the ball, yet he scores.
He can't catch the ball.
5 for 100 and a touchdown.
I was so down on him coming out of the preseason.
Yeah, and then Justin Jefferson didn't catch. He had a touchdown called back, and then Thielen picked up right where he left off last year. 2 more touchdowns in the red zone.
Is Thielen the new? Well, no, he's just their red zone guy. Especially
he's a red zone guy.
Yeah.
But Joe Mixon looked good.
Yeah, 29 carries, 127 yards, and a touchdown. That's pretty nasty.
Yep. So.
Not much else happened. It was an overtime game. I didn't watch the highlights, but did this one end with 0 time on the clock, or was that a different overtime game?
That almost ended in a tie. Dalvin Cook did fumble inside the red zone when they were going to score in overtime. And then Joe Burrow marched down the field. It was about to end in a tie, and then they hit, I think it was Uzoma.
53-yarder.
Yeah, hit Uzoma, got him down the field, and then the rookie kicker blasted one in. So it was a good game.
Seahawks take care of business against the Colts, 28-16. It was kind of a boring game besides Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett torching everybody.
Yeah, that's Tyler Lockett for you. He's going to catch 2 this week and 1 in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Him and DK Metcalf actually had the same amount of targets, but it looks like the Seahawks were just playing time of possession game in this one.
Yeah.
Well, no, they weren't. They only had it for 24 minutes to Indianapolis's 35. So I don't know what the hell happened there.
It was a pretty balanced game for Seattle. The Colts did run the ball a lot. But Jonathan Taylor looked good. Naheem Hines looked good. The only offensive weapon that looked good for the Colts besides them was Zach Pascal. He did catch 2 touchdowns.
Those must have been red zone looks based on the yardage. Carson Wentz, not bad. 102 quarterback rating, 25-38, 251, 2 touchdowns, 4 rushes for 23 yards. Naheem Hines signs that ginormous contract right before the game start, or was that on Saturday?
I signed it on Saturday, I believe. Friday or Saturday.
$6 million per. That's pretty good for a receiving back.
Yep.
All right, moving on. 49ers, Detroit Lions. This actually ended up being a much better game than anyone would have ever predicted.
Yeah, that was a weird game. Going back to even pre-game inactives, everyone got the
Trey Sermon
healthy scratch, and everyone's panicking at this point. And then Brandon Ayuk doesn't play really much. Everyone's confused. And then, mum's the word, and Shanahan didn't say anything about Trey Sermon doing well. And everyone was super, super pissed off on fantasy Twitter. Just not even the beat writers knew any of this. Shanahan just kept it tight-lipped and pissed off a lot of folks.
It makes no sense.
Especially the Brandon Ayuk one.
He was so nasty last year.
Yeah, you're saying he got beat up by a guy named Trent Sherfield, who nobody really knows of.
To be fair, there was only 4 wide receiver targets outside of Deebo Samuel. So even if all 4 of those went to Ayuk, what are we doing?
Yeah, Deebo had a robust 52% target share in that game. Crazy. He looked good.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, Hawkinson, Swift, and Jamal Williams are the only viable Lions. You can play both those running backs, it looks like.
Yeah, how weird.
Yeah.
I was not buying the Jamal Williams train at all this year, and then 8 catches on 9 targets for 56 yards. I guess that's just Jared Goff.
Yeah, they both had in fantasy points. Swift and him each had 25.
They were both top 5 running backs.
I believe so. Yeah, top 5, top 6,
something like that.
But crazy, like running back usage was great.
Yeah, that was in a million years wouldn't have expected that both those guys would have had such a good game.
And then Deebo Samuel fumbles and they score, and then they get an onside kick, and then the Lions are charging back. Everyone in the casino was going crazy because the point spread was 7.5, and they marched it back down to 7, and they were just it was wild in the casino there, in the sportsbook.
I can imagine. 49ers take the W. Unfortunately, Raheem Mostert gets hurt, which is the big injury news of the weekend. It looks like 8 weeks from the most recent report. It still doesn't mean Trey Sermon's the guy, and it doesn't mean that Elijah Mitchell's the guy. So who the fuck knows?
I do think there's the first F-bomb.
Yeah. Sorry, I already finished my drink. I don't know what to do for you.
I do think Sermon will be active next week, but I think it will be Sermon, Mitchell, and Hasty. We'll have to see how that snap share breaks out. It might be another week before we can see what actually is going on in that backfield. I don't think you can play any of them next week.
Sandy Alcantara has pitched a perfect game through 4 innings currently. Looks like there was some sort of drama with his glove or something. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. But had to sprinkle in that baseball recap.
Cody,
Texans, Jags.
Skip 10 seconds.
Yeah, skip 10 seconds. Raiders game has started. There goes the first kickoff. 37-21 Texans, Jaguars. This one's kind of a shocker.
What game are we talking about again? Sorry.
Texans, Jaguars.
Fire Urban Meyer. End podcast.
How the hell do you let that happen?
I like this was like the all the players that scored for the Texans is like the all Dusty Bowl team. you have Mark Ingram score, David Johnson score, Philip Lindsay score, Danny Amendola was signed off the street like 4 days ago. Like, oh my gosh, it was bad. Like, Tyrod Taylor looked good. I mean, the Texans look good, but they're going to be a rude awakening next week when they play an actual good team.
Browns?
Yeah, they play the Browns next week. But
for fantasy purposes, Brandon Cooks is everything we thought he'd be.
Yep, he's going to be their number 1 receiver. I don't know if you can trust any of those running backs. Like, it's a dart throw. They all scored a touchdown, but we'll have to wait and see.
It looks like there's going to be 3 fantasy viable wide receivers in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think honestly you can play all 3.
Literally, Gardner Minshew left. The mustache left town. It didn't even matter. They're still just going to be throwing the ball from behind nonstop. Yep. Or I guess it's Blake Bortles again.
Yeah, I mean, I do think LaVisca, Marvin Jones, and Chark, you can play them pretty much with
every
confidence.
week.
Pretty much with confidence.
Yeah, in your flex every week if you need to. Moving on, Urban Meyer needs to be fired already. It's week 1. Bring out the paperwork, I guess Zach says. Chiefs, Browns. This actually was a pretty good game.
Yeah,
I caught some of it.
Yeah, this one was pretty intense. The Browns weren't messing around. They went down and score on the first possession, throwing it, going for it on 4th down, inside the red zone too. You're not going to beat the Chiefs kicking field goals at Arrowhead. They score the touchdown. They line up for the extra point. There was a offsides penalty or something, or a face mask. They took the points off the board. The Browns then put it at the 1 yard line and punched it in to go for 2. They were very aggressive, and their offense looked very good without Odell Beckham. Again, another surprise inactive.
Was he a healthy scratch too?
No. Everyone said he had a great camp. He was looking good, but it came out that he hasn't been tackled in practice yet.
Weird.
So he did not play. Again, he tore his ACL last year too. But the Browns look good. Nick Chubb looked great. Kareem Hunt looked good. Jarvis Landry tore it up, as he always does without Odell Beckham. And then, obviously, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce owned the day.
Jarvis Landry had a rushing touchdown, apparently.
Yeah.
7.3 yard or points as a running back.
Yeah.
It's better than most of the running backs.
But the Chiefs look good. I mean,
they sure did.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill is a monster. The dude is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes has never lost a game in September, so I don't know why anyone took the Browns. But I'm guessing they covered. If they were within 4 points, there's no way they didn't cover.
Yeah, they covered. Sure. I don't remember what the spread was.
The weirdest game of Sunday, by far.
Packers.
Saints, Packers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers looking like old Jameis.
Yeah.
Jameis looked good. Ooh.
Yeah, he did. 5 touchdowns. I feel like you have some Jameis shares somewhere in fantasy land.
I have a few very early best balls. I have a few.
Don't worry about Alvin Kamara. He looks great.
Yep, looks good.
Tony Jones is going to be fantasy relevant at some point this year because, it's inevitable. Kamara's going to miss a game or two.
I don't know if you can really predict what
For
receivers.
the Packers?
No, the receivers for the Saints.
Oh, yeah, no. Who knows? There was a healthy sprinkle going on there.
Yeah, and same with the tight end. I know Juwan Johnson caught 2 touchdowns, but he only had 3 catches.
Right, and Trotman actually had 6 targets.
Yeah.
So who knows what the hell's going on there?
Who
also knows what the hell's going on with the Packers?
Yeah, that was weird. They just got the doors blown off them. I mean, it happens. But
Jordan Love, 5 for 7, 68 yards, 102.1 quarterback rating. Start the controversy. Fire up the wagons.
Yeah. It's someone I saw a tweet. It's like, oh, looks like Aaron Rodgers missed camp for about 3 months.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. It happens. You get the doors blown off them. It happens. It just sucks. It's week 1, and you have Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams had a bad game, and so did Aaron Jones. You didn't get much out of those guys. So
it was it was a huge big play game, wasn't it? Because I looked, Jameis really didn't have very many passes.
No, he scored a lot of short yard touchdowns. He had 1 deep ball. That was the one that Deontay Harris.
Yeah. Yep. Towards the end of the game.
Yeah. But Saints look good. I hope to keep seeing famous Jameis lighting folks up. It's my boy.
Dolphins beat the Patriots by 1. Neither quarterback really looked the best. I did watch these highlights today. They both looked very uncomfortable under pressure in the pocket. Mac Jones comes down with a better statistical day, but I honestly think that Tua had a better performance.
Yeah, they both were basically just trying not to lose the game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of running the ball, short passes.
Myles Gaston looks good.
Damian Harris looked good except for that last fumble, which Ramondre Stevenson also fumbled, and that's not good for Patriots running backs if you fumble the ball.
No, I'm sure Bill is cursing underneath his breath the whole time.
Well, yeah, I bet watch Ramondre Stevenson. He'll be a healthy scratch, and it'll be J.J. Taylor next week.
Both of these teams are going to be fighting for second place in that division all year round.
I don't know if the Dolphins go beat the Bills this week. It's in Miami. They
You
got a good
want to
defense.
sprinkle? You want to sprinkle a little cheddar on that one? Because I don't.
Well, we'll see what I'll see what the point spread is. I would only take a spread bet. I wouldn't go.
Oh yeah. Definitely don't go money line. That's burning money.
That's burning. Yeah, that's throwing money down the drain. But I do think that the Dolphins are very good.
Whatever way you go, if you're going Dolphins to cover, I'll bet against it. How about that?
Okay, we'll look at the spread.
$5. We'll look at the spread.
Okay. But yeah, the Dolphins. Jalen Waddle looked pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
So did Devontae Parker. He looked pretty good as well.
Devontae Parker looked way better than his ADP. I don't think he was drafted in most leagues.
Mike Gesicki, you can drop him.
Did he look that bad? I didn't actually even look at his stuff.
I believe 0 targets.
Two targets, 0 catches. Albert Wilson, 2 targets, 0 catches.
And see, this is the week I thought he would be good because Will Fuller was out. I thought Waddle would play the outside. Gesicki would man the slot.
I'm thinking in this current offensive structure, your top 3 receiving options are Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and Myles Gaskin.
Will Fuller's coming back too.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Yep, see that snap dynamic.
Yeah. Broncos and Giants, what a weird one. Broncos really just torched the Giants and fired David Football Gettleman.
Yeah, the only bad thing about this game was like the one big injury. It's like the biggest injury of the weekend.
Oh, who was it?
Jerry Jeudy.
No, really?
High ankle sprain.
Ooh, probably 3 to 5.
When it initially happened, I thought he broke his ankle like Dak. Like it looked pretty bad.
Gotcha.
But the X-rays were negative. Initially, it said severe high ankle sprain 6 to 8, and then someone came out and said 4 to 6 today. But he's going to go on IR for a little bit. I don't know if you can, unless you have super deep benches. I don't know if you can roster him. He's one of my guys this year. In some of my deeper leagues, I'll probably keep him.
Might as well.
In some shorter bench leagues, I'll probably have to cut him.
Cortland Sutton, KJ Hamler looked to pick up those targets. Looks like Jeudy had 7 targets.
Yeah, he looked good. Noah Fant pick up some extra slack.
He looked good too.
He did look good. KJ Hamler, Tim Patrick. I mean, they have weapons. So it's a bummer to see that. I think that's definitely the biggest fantasy loss for injury. I know we talked about Mostert, but more viable starting player. Barkley
Arizona. Sorry. Barkley looked awful. But I think you got to just kind of ride it out, especially with where you had to draft him. You don't really have a choice but to just see what happens there.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to get any value from him if you try to move on.
No, and they were saying it was going to be a little snap countish because they have the Thursday game this next week. So we'll see how that goes. But the only Giants guy that looked good was Sterling Shepard, who's a stud every year, but no one ever wants to draft him.
He's wearing number 3.
Yeah.
Back to his LSU days.
Speaking of which, I still can't get over these number changes. I have no idea who anybody is.
Nope, no clue. I have a guy on my team, Paris Campbell. I think I have Paris Campbell. He's wearing number 1, and I did not even know it was him.
I know.
I was watching a little bit of that game.
Yeah, we're sitting there watching the games. We're like, who the heck? Like Chase Edmonds is number 2, and James Conner's number 6, and I'm like, I have no idea who anybody is anymore.
Cardinals, Titans. Speaking of James Conner, it went exactly how I thought it was going to go. Titans were favored in this game. I had $50 on the Cardinals, and it paid off.
Yeah, I should have bet the Cardinals when I was here. I really thought the Cardinals were going to blow the doors off of them,
which is what they did.
Yeah, which they did. Hopkins looked great. Christian Kirk looked good. Rondell Moore looked good. The running backs looked decent. But the Titans' defense was pooping.
I think they kind of ran out of cap space and talent on their defense, and that's what's going on there. But
yeah, which hurts Derrick Henry. That's the thing.
He still had a decent day.
Yeah, he had about 11 points, but I mean, it's not the 11 points isn't what you draft in the first round. So He'll get going. It's just hard to predict. But Kyler Murray was looking like Kyler Murray from the first 10 weeks of last year before he dinged up his shoulder.
Yeah, Sandy Alcantara, he's perfect through 4 innings. He's back up on the mound. I don't know what that drama was about, but that's pretty huge. Let's see if he can keep it going. I got money on the Marlins tonight. So the Miami Dull Marlins. Yeah, the Wyoming. Oh my gosh. Woo.
Make another drink.
Yeah, I gotta go make another one. Anyway, Rams take care of business on Sunday night. For some reason, that was the way these games were set up on Football Reference. My apologies. But I mean, it's exactly what you figured was going to happen.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford looked good.
Very good. I think all those guys, obviously Darrell Henderson's the guy right now. Sonny Michel's still learning the playbook.
That was apparent.
Yeah, I think Sonny Michel will get more involved in the coming weeks. But Cooper Kupp looked good.
He had a monster game. It could have been 6.1 points better, but on review, he had a touchdown called back.
Robert Woods looked good. Didn't get a bunch of targets, but he did look good. Again, with the number change, I thought that was Robert Woods that caught the 80-yard touchdown. But to no avail, it was Van Jefferson.
Oh, yes.
But, Stafford looked good. Higbee looked good. That whole entire offense looked very good. Bears did not look very good, except David Montgomery.
Right, and that's about – it's every year now. It's Allen Robinson, it's Dave Montgomery, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. I think there was
11 targets for Robinson.
Yeah, wasn't great. I think
Lamar's doing Lamar things already. First down, Ravens.
I think we missed the one game.
I know. I'm going to it right now.
Chargers.
Chargers, Washington. The Chargers take care of business. This is a huge win for their team.
Yep.
Just because they've been so bad over the years.
That was the other game with the other injury. Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down. Subluxation of the hip. That does not sound good. He is going to go on IR. Is what they said. We don't know how long that's going to be, but it's.
I think it's looking like 5 weeks.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke is in now. The man that almost upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs last year.
I don't think their offense changes that much. I think he'll be all right. I think there's going to be less like down the field passing, but I think Gibson's value actually goes up.
Yep. McLaurin's is going to be good still.
I'm a little scared with McLaurin, but now that I'm looking at the stats, he was by far the best receiver out of everybody who was on the field. So I shouldn't be worried at all.
Speaking of the Chargers, though, Keenan Allen, 9 for 100, looked great. Mike Williams,
8 for 82 and a touchdown. Who saw that coming?
Eckler got a goal line carry and scored a touchdown, but caught no passes.
That's a first.
But caught no passes.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah. You a soul for a soul. As the Avengers
traded a touchdown for 6 receptions. It's fine.
Traded a goal line carry for no catches. But I think he'll be just fine. He got a little banged up midweek, so I'm guessing they just kind of gave him a little less work in the offense. I expect him to get going again, though. But yeah, big win for the Chargers. Tough loss for Fitzpatrick. I feel bad every time he gets a shot. Something happens. Everybody loves Fitzpatrick, so we'll see how Heineke works out for that offense.
4 of the top 12 quarterbacks were not drafted.
Yep.
And that's about all you need to know about quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks it's hard to pick.
How in the world was Daniel Jones a top 12 quarterback?
He had a rushing
touchdown. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that wraps it up for the week 1 IRL football recap. I suppose we could touch on some injuries real quick before we cut it to break. Is there anything we missed? Looks like Rashad Penny has a calf injury. He's going to be shut down for a couple of weeks. No one cares. Unless Chris Carson goes down, which he did look good. He looks like Chris Carson.
Yeah, the three big ones are Mostert, Fitzpatrick, and Judy. Those were the big three.
I think that's basically it. Hopefully there's some more who come back healthy, who haven't really played throughout the preseason, all that.
Yeah. Obviously, injuries are going to happen.
Yep.
Just kind of got to withstand and make moves. That's why you got to have a good bench and just kind of adapt, and at least in the world of fantasy. Same thing with the NFL, but got to have good depth on rosters.
All right, and with that, we will take a short break, and we'll be right back with you. And we're back. Quick little break. Time to move on to the matchups that matter.
Yes.
Fired it off first. Once again, we are recording this on Monday night, so some of these have not been determined, although most of them have. We'll fire it off.
Some matchups that are completely over with.
Correct. Fired off with Cody Jubal Sackett versus your brother. 138-123. This one is still technically live, but it would take 3 50-yard field goals from Daniel Carlson and 0 points by Justin Tucker in order for your brother to come out victorious.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
Big takeaways from the matchup being Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle, the two rookie receivers, went off. TJ Hawkinson. Yeah, he played both. And then Jubal Sackett, TJ Hawkinson, 25 points. He was forced into taking Hawkinson because he just kept falling. And then Chris Godwin on opening night. Jalen Hurts, also one of the last quarterbacks taken of the starters, and he just goes off. We saw that coming.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts, good quarterback. Fantasy quarterback.
That was almost a one-handed interception.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. This matchup is decided, unfortunately, for Blaster. Drew, once again, we underestimate him every year, and somehow he comes out guns a-blazing, takes it 146-105. I guess it doesn't matter all that much if Zach Moss doesn't play.
Why not? He benched him. So.
Yeah, to be fair, 3 players are the only reason why he came out victorious. Rob Gronkowski, CeeDee Lamb, and Patrick Mahomes.
All it takes, though, sometimes.
Yep. Disappointing showings from Cortland Sutton, Mike Evans, and Saquon Barkley on the other side for Blaster.
Yeah, he'll bounce back. He'll be all right.
He will. Kind of makes no goddamn sense that he sat T. Higgins. I mean, trade him to me if you really don't want to play him.
Or me.
Yeah. Moving on. Filthy Casual, Redskins for life. This one is also over. Pat takes the week 1 victory over Lean. He's just riding the toilet seat into the ground.
It's so disappointing when you lose and you have McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And he had Mixon.
He won.
Lean. Oh no, Pat. Yeah, Pat won.
Yeah, Pat won. McCaffrey against Dalvin Cook and Joe Mixon.
That was a rematch of the toilet seat game, and it came out the same way.
Oh. Okay, so this is what happened. So it looks like he started Brandon Ayuk. I think Brandon Ayuk was active.
He was.
Okay. So, I mean, anybody would have made that mistake.
Oh, yeah, everybody. I mean, I made that mistake in some of my leagues. I played them.
No big deal. Rematch of the Toilet Bowl. We'll see how that shakes out throughout the year. I'm guessing that means they have to play each other again.
Yeah.
This one is definitely not settled yet, although the outcome is probably decided. Dark Horse is currently up by 11 against Heath.
Dark Horse looks like quite a few players left.
Yeah, it looks like it's Mark Andrews versus Ravens defense, Marquise Brown, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs with an 11-point cushion. That's probably done.
Yeah.
Moving on to you.
It'll be the highest scoring matchup of the week.
The only one that has true implications tonight?
Yeah, my team.
Ooh, I need to refresh it because it doesn't have your Lamar Jackson points on there yet.
Yep. So I can get. I don't have it in the score pulled up, but Cole and I obviously rematched the championship game last year. Cole put in one hell of a lineup. He had like 5 or 6 guys go for 20 plus. He's sitting at 189 right now. I do need about 29 points from Lamar Jackson to try to cap it off and get to 190, which is, I mean, obviously possible. Lamar can put up 29. I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, I'm still going to put up in, the 180s, which is a tough loss. But I mean, you score 180, you still feel pretty good about your team. Either way, someone's going to come out of a high-scoring loss with that. He had Melvin Gordon rip off that 60-yard touchdown run. That's where it was a bummer. Like the Tyreek Hill caught a 70-yard touchdown pass at the same time as Melvin Gordon scored that touchdown, and I'm like, well, that sucks. Obviously, he had Amari Cooper, Hopkins, Thielen, Russ Wilson. So I'm just hoping for the best on Monday Night Miracle.
Do you want to know the score?
Sure.
162, 189 yourself. Lamar Jackson, 10 rushing yards, 20 passing yards so far. Currently, you are projected to lose by 10.
Yeah, that's what it was about going in. I still should score in the 180s. I just trying to see if Lamar can punch in 2 rushing touchdowns. That's where I can kind of have a chance. Like I said, I mean, it sucks losing week 1, but I mean, if you score a boatload of points, you feel pretty confident about your team still. Obviously, I lost Jerry Jeudy, but Deebo Samuel had a 30-point game. Tyreek Hill had a 30-point game. So just gotta wait and see how it turns out.
Finally, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, like I said, I'm not too worried. I put up a high-scoring week. Let the chips fall where they may.
Finally, I squeaked one out. Closest matchup of the week. I take it 129.48 to 125.76 over Stuart Brinkman. With as much shit as I talked on his roster, I kind of had to win.
Yeah.
I honestly went to sleep last night thinking I had lost. I didn't check my team before I went to bed. I was down 20 plus points. I was like, there's no way, especially after I saw Cooper Kupp get dragged down 6 inches short of the end zone. I thought I was done. Turns out I wasn't.
No, I was. He was peppered quite a bit. But yeah, that was a big game for Cooper Kupp. Pulled out a dub for the deputy.
It feels great, I must say.
Yep. And half the league always feels good week 1. Half the league says, oh, shit.
All right, if I can get my computer to cooperate, let's go ahead and preview week 2. We'll start it off with myself taking on Blaster. I am currently projected to win pretty convincingly. 13 points. I haven't made any roster moves in terms of my lineup at all. As you know, it is still week 1 technically, as long as Lamar Jackson still has the ball. Who's wearing 24 for the Ravens?
Yeah, running back?
Is that Tyson?
That might be Tyson.
34.
That might be Tyson.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of work.
Or Latavius. Probably Tyson, though.
I'm not sure. Anyway, moving on. Do you have the week 2 matchups pulled up, or do you want me to just hammer through these?
You can hammer through them. I can preview mine. I know I play Luke next week. So a bowl game. We got the Dale Brennan Bowl next week. Early projections, I remember him seeing him ahead a little bit.
138 to 130.
Yeah, so I think that's for him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I'll be getting the Hall of Records updated. Try to do it consistently every week. I did pin it to the top of the Facebook group, so if you are interested to look at that.
Thank you for doing that.
Yep, it is.
Since our previous secretary quit, we've not been able to fill that position.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy doing it. I'll try to do it every probably Wednesday. I'll try to get updated on Wednesdays with updated like bowl games, high scoring teams, stuff like that.
Yeah, so. It is Tyson Williams. He's getting quite a bit of run in this this first couple drives. I don't think he's even come off the field yet while the Ravens are on offense.
That's good.
That is good for you. Good job on your Mr. Irrelevant.
No, I took him in the 13th or 14th round. He was one of my later picks, though.
Nice. Jubal comes in. I think he lost, right?
No, he's projected to beat Luke.
Oh, that's right. He comes in off a win, taking on the toilet seat rider, currently favored by 16.
Right.
Then we have Patrick versus Cole. Patrick is currently projected to win by 11. Looks like Christian McCaffrey and A.J. Brown are his highest projected point scorers. With the way that A.J. Brown did not have a great game, that would be nice.
He did score a touchdown.
That's true. NFL.com is broken when it comes to Drew's team.
Holy shit, Tyson Williams.
Is it this 4th and 1 play? Because I'm probably on a delay.
Yeah, he just took it to the house.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Let's see it. There it is. 30 yards out.
Man, the Raiders are bad.
Yep. Dark Horse is currently projected to beat Drew by 40. No, 36. Because he still got Michael Gallup in his lineup. Who's on IR now. Honestly, Drew should probably drop Tariq Cohen. I don't know why he drafted him. He did pick up a guy. Oh, that's right. He picked up the Denver tight end because he's got a funny name.
Albert O.
Okujabanobi. Something like that.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, Obi-Wan. Yeah. When did you pick him up?
I think you picked him up right before.
You wouldn't even believe how many points he's projected.
Drew?
No. Okwubunum. Okwubunum.
Like 9.
10.72. Right?
Tyson has 3 carries.
All right. The brink.
Tyson Williams has 3 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown.
Jesus. That's the Lamar Jackson effect.
I'm glad I got him. He's sitting on my
Brinkman. Mm-hmm. Better than on someone else's starting lineup.
Correct, Mundo.
Brinkman is currently expected to win by 7 points. Both teams go in needing a win against Heath. Looks like Alvin Kamara is projected to go the fuck off, and Aaron Jones is projected to get back off the snide. I take on Blaster, currently projected to win by 13. Blaster, the one who took our photograph while we were, chilling.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was
a good troll.
That was good. Good stuff.
Yeah, he's got the Mac Jones experiment going on. We'll see how that pays off. I think he actually had a decent game. Where was Mac Jones in terms of quarterbacks?
He was all right.
Mac Jones was top 25. He was the 21st ranked quarterback this last week, 15.24 points. Not bad.
I expect Blaster to move on from him. I mean, try the week 1 experiment, see if you can hit lightning in a bottle.
He's probably just going to be streaming.
Yeah, just fine. It's doable.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Wilson scored more than Josh Allen, so that should tell you something on streaming quarterbacks.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is still out there. He did all right. I know he threw 3 picks, but
yeah, he'll be all right. That was his first regular season loss of his entire life.
I know. That's wild.
All right. We've gotten to the bet portion of the show. Thank you for sticking along.
The bets that matter. Did we come up with a better name than that?
Was Test Your Metal, wasn't it?
I think that was the rankings, but yeah, I think it's close enough.
Oh yeah.
We didn't do that this year. The test.
We did not do that this year. We're gonna have to come up with some more organic bets. We'll talk when we're not on the podcast.
I think so. Do you still want to do every other week?
Yeah. So I did come up with 3 this week. So if we want to just do what I've got.
Okay. Yeah. I'll take next week.
Okay. So I'm thinking the person who comes up with the bets only goes first on 1, and the person who doesn't goes first on 2. How about that?
So I'll take the first and third first.
All right. Yeah, I'll take the second. So the first bet is, I crunched some numbers.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I did. It is my 1 number crunch.
Week 1 sample size.
Rushing attempts. AFC versus NFC.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Entering Monday night, the AFC had 367 rushing attempts and the NFC had 400. Now, that doesn't take into account the 2 rushing heavy teams that are playing tonight in the Raiders and Ravens. Josh Jacobs just ripped off a first down run, by the way.
I'll take. I'm trying to think the teams that are in there. I'll take the AFC.
Okay. I will take the NFC. I think honestly we should make these bets all year close enough to where one person can take one side and the other can take the other.
Yeah, that's usually the goal, but it just depends on your gut too.
Right. This one is a little bit. This one's a little bit not as close, but I just like the storyline. Tua versus Mac. Tua's playing the Bills. Mac's playing the Jets. I will go ahead and take Mac. I'll give you some yards if you want to take Tua.
What are we talking?
Passing yards. Passing yards. Mac had 281. Tua had 202 last week. Or this week.
That's a pretty big difference. You said you'd give me some
I'll give you some yards. How about I give you 15 if you take Tua?
How about 20 and a half?
I'll give you 18
and a half.
And a half. All right. You got Tua plus 18 and a half against Mac.
I don't feel comfortable about that. I think it should be more, but
I think that's pretty fair. I think his 202 was a fluke.
Okay. He's got a tougher defense though next week.
I know, but I think it was game script. All right. So
that's a sucker bet.
This one is receptions for the top 2 Browns running backs versus the top 2 Lions running backs. If you take the Browns, you get 6 points. Plus 6.
Because the
Lions had 16 receptions last week and the Browns only had 5.
The Browns play Houston.
The Browns play Houston and the Lions play the Packers. So Browns plus 6, top 2 running back receptions versus Lions running back receptions minus 6.
I'll take the Lions.
You'll take the Lions. All right, I will take the Browns plus 6.
Okay. Hold on, I have a Google Doc going with these as well. I'll get those going. I'll share that with you as well.
Sweet.
So you can add it.
All right, and with that, as TSA is talking through Zach's headphones, I think that's a pretty natural transition to end where we started.
Yeah, I've been trying to mute when I can. So
you're doing a good job.
So I'm excited to get back in the home office and use the mic and get all that set
situated.
Yep, the war room. So glad I was actually able to get on and do this at DIA.
Yeah, look at that.
Killed a little bit of time. I'm really glad. So I'm not just sitting
Look at
here.
that layover.
So, yeah, it's great. Glad we can make this work. We will come at you every Monday night.
Every Monday night. This will be posted pretty quick. I just got to get it over to this year. I'm not adding music or anything like that just because Apple Podcast, they're a little more stingent on that type of things unless Bill makes me some royalty free stuff. Otherwise, not happening.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you guys next Monday. Hope you enjoy it.